When I first heard the term awareness, it was back in 2020 when the world seemed like a verse from the book of Revelations. A worldwide pandemic, riots in America, and an intense election cycle. Ironically, I ran across this word from the book The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with his work, he was one of the forerunners of the metaphysical mind and consciousness in the 1950s, and one of the first proponents of the internalization of God as you, the creator. I would say he falls in the same vein as folks like Alan Watts, Aldous Huxley, and Eckhart Tolle. Yet they all have slightly varying differences on their views of consciousness and God. I, however, like to refer to them as the be here now folks, as my dad calls them. Now, you might be thinking that this is going to be a review of Goddard's book, and you would be sorely mistaken, as we're going to take his book and all the knowledge that it holds and throw it out the window, and I'm going to present you with my understanding of awareness. So, what is awareness? Well, according to Merriam-Webster, it means the quality or state of being aware, knowledge and understanding that something is happening or exists. Now, why is that important? Well, to truly grasp what I'm about to say, you need to understand the definition of the word. So I will ask you again, what is awareness? Simply put, it's you. Your awareness in its rawest form. Hold up, this guy must be crazy. How am I awareness? Well, some of you might have heard that you're the culmination of your choices and actions and emotions creating who you are today. And my friend, that is half right, but it's looking at things from such a limited lens and qualifying things in the temporary moment rather than the eternal one, which I will get to later. Instead, I'm going to challenge that thought, as you are not your choices, thoughts, and emotions, as those are fleeting moments and not who you are. I will agree that your current physical form and situation do reflect your choices, but you are not your situation or your form. These exist external of you and do not reflect the miracle that you are. Well, if I'm not a culmination of my choices, then what am I? You are the awareness of them. That is the root of what free will truly is, and it's a miraculous thing. Now, let me break this down for you with an example, and I'm going to need a little bit of help for my emotions. But before that, I would greatly appreciate you hitting that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, hitting that subscribe button, as it greatly helps this channel grow and additionally gets this video out to more people. And with that, let's get back to the reason you came here. Now, setting the stage, and I will use a real life example. Jonah here got laid off back in November 2022, right before Thanksgiving. Say hi, Jonah. If any of you know what the turkey drop is, that's what it seemed like, except instead of my girlfriend breaking up with me, it was my company. So Jonah here got laid off and was thus thrust into the state of feeling all sorts of emotions: happiness, sadness, anger, and even a little hopefulness. Now understand, these are only temporary states and not who I am. I was not happy. I was feeling happy. I was not sad. I was feeling sad. Have I lost anyone yet? Because honestly, I was lost when first learning this concept. Through these lucid emotional states, I recognized that I was none of these emotions, but also exemplifying them temporarily at different moments. Interestingly enough, in that knowing, I recognized I had the choice or the understanding to make a choice. I was in the driver's seat and objectively witnessing all of these states at the same time, allowing me to choose how I felt about the situation. Let's step back even further and look at it from a 10,000-foot view. But before that, let's get in a quick physics lesson with my friend, Albert Einstein. Einstein states, time is basically an illusion created by the mind to aid in our sense of temporal presence in the vast ocean of space. Without the neurons to create a virtual perception of the past and the future, based on all of our experiences, there is no actual existence of the past and the future. All that there is the present. So what does that mean? In layman's terms, it means our conscious minds created a temporal state, aka linear time, so that we would not go insane and would qualify events as happening in a certain sequence. The second part of this discusses how time occurs all at the same moment because the present moment is infinite. It does not start or end. I like to think of time as vertical rather than linear, as all moments occur at the same time. Our minds just experience them one after another, because if not, they would turn to soup as we would be experiencing everything all at once. Similar to Kate Blanchett in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Short as it may have been, our physics lesson comes to a close, but I will expand upon the illusion of time in its own video. So let's get back to that bird's eye view and get to the point that you are the awareness that exists eternally. You are the awareness of this endless moment, and your emotions, thoughts, and choices are just little pit stops along the way. On the way to what, you may ask? Well, on the way to more present moment, of course, as it continues infinitely, even after you die and transition to your next form, accumulating lessons and experiences along the way, further building your awareness and spirit. And on a side note, that's where you hear a lot about past life regression, reincarnation, and the cycle of samsara or karma. Now, I expect I might have lost some of you in the hodgepodge of this dense topic, but let me provide you with another example. But this time, I will use the concept of choice rather than emotion. So our friend Jonah here is trying to lose weight and wakes up one morning and is not feeling up to snuff. He's a bit tired, but still needs to get to the gym. He has two choices. A, go back to sleep, or B, go to the gym. He goes back to sleep, he misses a day at the gym, and who knows, this could even ruin his progress as he starts down the path of finding excuses not to work out. Or he goes to the gym and continues along his journey of weight loss and progresses towards his goal. Now let me ask you this. Is Jonah his choice or the awareness of making a choice? I would say he's the awareness of the choice, as he recognizes that he has free will to decide which path he wishes to take. Well, Jonah decides he wants to continue his progress and gets ready as per usual. With that, we are not our choices, emotions, or thoughts. We are the awareness of these actions, energies, or whatever you like to call them. That's why Source bestowed you with free will to choose for yourself in that moment and continually get to make choices over and over again. Similar to walking through a maze, but there really isn't any exit. So why is understanding that your awareness so important? Well, first, once you grasp this concept, you can start applying it into practice and flesh out your decisions before you actually make them. You begin to see all potential realities before you in that moment and all the branches that they may take. Now, some of us might freeze with fear of this knowledge because awareness of all possibilities can make you feel like a deer in headlights. You might ask questions like, what if I make the wrong choice? What if this? What if that? And that's part of the beauty of knowing, as it leaves you the ability to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes, further increasing your awareness to lead to better decisions in the future. Another thing awareness creates is mastery over your emotions as you begin to recognize and understand you have complete say in how you feel. A perceived bad or good situation will not force you into sadness or happiness, but instead, you make the decision of how you react to things. And as perception is reality, you can completely change how you interact with and perceive the world around you. And finally, it creates the understanding that you are not your body, your situation, or your choices, as these are temporary. You are infinite, transcending time itself and getting the privilege of enjoying a human experience in this form with all the choices, emotions, and situations that come with it. So let me leave you with these thoughts. Now knowing that you are awareness itself, what will you do with that? Will you stay asleep and let life happen to you? Or will you go create with the understanding that you have acquired? It may be frightening, at first knowing you have this much power, but it just takes a little courage and a leap of faith to set out on the path. Thanks for tuning in today. And if you enjoyed that video, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hitting that subscribe button as well. It helps the channel grow and get this video out to more people, which is really what we're aiming for, is just get this message out to as many folks as possible. Other than that, if you want to leave a comment or have any questions or have any takes on this topic that we discussed today of awareness, you can leave them in the comments section below. I try to get to as many of those as possible. I really do try to answer as many as possible as well. So I love having debate and conversation. So other than that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and God bless.